Good morning. This is Ask Marie, and I'm going to talk to you today about Marriage at First Sight, Season 11, Episode 4. Now, you got Amani and Woody. So, they're meeting each other's family and talking to them and giving each spouse a heads up on the character of their wife or their husband. And as Amani's dad is meeting with, actually, she's got two dads, a dad and a stepdad. They're meeting with Woody, who's not had a good relationship with his father. So he's never really had a father image growing up. So when he's talking to them, they're realizing as they're talking that he has had a 4-year relationship in the past, and it just didn't work out, and that Amani's dad is a little concerned about that because 4 years is a long time to be with someone unless you think that you're going to make it with him. And Woody it seems as though he has a personality problem, a temper, and I guess her father and stepfather would be concerned about that. A lot of times, these men and women go to these organizations where they can pick a spouse for them because they've had so much bad luck with the dating game. So they said, if they go to some place where they can be compared with someone, they probably would stand a better chance because they're compatible. But Amani she is a very mature young lady because she has had responsibility in her life and she's had to assume it, whereas Woody, he is very close to his mom because of this personality problem. A mom knows her child, and over the years she's probably taught him how to deal with it as much as she could. I don't know if he ever went for counseling or anything like that. But she knows him and she understands him at this point better than anybody's mom or dad or any of his friends either. But Woody is the one who's kind of a little on the flashy side. Nervous energy. Just couldn't keep still. And even when he meets both dads, they're standing there and he's bent over. That's body language. And he's talking to them. But he did let his guard down once in that he told them he didn't have a good relationship with his dad. And that he was hoping that maybe he could come to them for some sort of guidance from time to time. So he expressed the fact that he did need a male image in his life. But is he a baby? Will Amani have to raise him in view of the fact that she's a very mature woman? She's used to handling responsibilities, and Woody is not. So will he put everything in her lap? Handle this, honey, handle that. Honey, like he's a child. Is she going to have to raise him? Or she has another option. She could just wait until he grows up, which could take a lifetime. What kind of marriage is that? And in view of the fact that he doesn't handle responsibility or he doesn't have the experience of handling responsibility, he's not going to want any restrictions on his freedom. He, at this point, probably doesn't even realize he's not as free as he was when he was single. But he's not going to want any restrictions after the honeymoon and everything starts to come out. Overall, I think Woody probably lacks commitment because his parents gave him, his mother gave him everything he wanted, A lot of mothers make that mistake. She's right there for him. He dropped his spoon, she's right there to pick it up. So I don't think he's really ready for commitment. Nor do I think he can express himself to Amani, explain to her this, that, the other. And the reason for that is because he probably doesn't really know himself, or he does not know what it means to be married. He has no pattern. His mother and father apparently were divorced. He has no pattern to follow, whereas Amani has more than one. She's a very bright and bubbly and lovely, outgoing young lady, and he is too. They do have that in common, except that she's grown up and he hasn't. And because of the broken past, she's had her heart broken in the past. She doesn't have but so much trust for men. So they got a lot of blending to do. And I don't know, or I can't imagine how harmoniously they will blend. Then there's Christina and Henry. Now, Christina is the very, very pretty flight attendant. She does a lot of traveling, and she enjoys traveling. Chances are that's why she chose that profession as a flight attendant. So, but Henry and his father, he's just embarrassing. He's coming out with he's not this and he's not that, and I don't know how you're going to deal with this or that. You know, that could be very bad. No positives. No positives. And he's been nowhere. Henry has been nowhere in the name of traveling. He's been living alone. He's handsome too, but he's basically a loner. So chances are he won't mind if she goes away on those 2-week trips. So anything could happen though if a pretty lady like Christina, and as forward as she is, anything could happen. So, and he's not a communicator. He doesn't express his feelings. Now, I have a problem with that, because if a man is not going to tell you what's bothering him, you just don't know what it is. He's just being sulky. That's not a very fruitful end or relationship. Of course, we have Karen and Miles. Karen is the adult. And Miles is 4 years younger. Now, a lot of people say that age is nothing but a number, but and it probably isn't if at 26 you have had more experience and responsibility as Karen has. But it seems as though she has had a lot of responsibility. She and her mom are very close. Her mother is very influential, because if it wasn't for her mother, she would have never walked down the aisle with what she knew about Miles. And Miles, I think he seems like a nice guy.